Hello, what was that? Yikes. Today I have a very exciting episode for you. We are talking about the difference between confidence and being outgoing and being shy and all those different variables that come into play and how they are not actually correlated in the way that you might think that they are. So if you are new to my channel, you have no idea who I am. Hey, what's up? I'm Danny D. So happy you found me. I'm an author, I am a speaker, I'm a facilitator helping you own the F out of who you are online and offline with a framework that I like to call iconic leadership, which is leading with integrity, communication, ownership, nuance, intention, capacity, and consent. We talk about it a lot. We talk about it most oftenly in my leadership horror stories, where you can listen into some horror stories about leadership skills and how sometimes people might not lead in the most effective ways and why that might happen. And some of the nuances, like I said, we love nuances. There's a lot of variables in how we lead and how we show up and behave in our lives. So we discuss all of that in what I've been told is a very respectful way, which thank you very much. I try to be as respectful as possible and not call people out. I'm not about that, but I like to open up the conversation, I would say. So all the horror stories are anonymous, but you can check out that whole playlist right here or here, wherever that little thing pops out and is like, here, look here. Before I get into the video, do you like my top? Oh gee, thanks. It's merch. So this is my Natural Born Icon shirt. If you wanted to grab anything from the shop, like an icon shop, I'll put that below as well, because we have shirts that say "Don't shush me," unshushable, which is actually written in my lipstick. Like I wrote it in lipstick, not written in my lipstick. Like it's a font that was created by me writing on a shirt with lipstick. Very cool. We have an unshushable shirt. We have total icon tees. We got everything that you might need in the shop. So I'll put the link below. Anything else you might need, I'll put it below as well. Like, subscribe, comment, do what you need. You know, you're on YouTube. You know what you're supposed to do on YouTube. So I don't need to even, that's fine. Let's get into the video. So a lot of the times we are taught to see people who are the loudest voice in the room or the center of attention as the most confident people. And it's something that is oftentimes put up on a pedestal of confidence. So theater kids are so confident. I was a theater kid. Or people who are on the stage are so confident. They're always so confident. And if you have ever been in the arts, if you know people who have been in the arts, if you know people who have been on stage, if you've been on stage, that doesn't actually correlate to confidence all of the time. You can be super outgoing and not be super confident. You can be incredibly shy, I put that in quotes, shy, because shy is a social construct. Talk about that in a second. And still be confident, because confidence has actually nothing to do with our output necessarily, and it has everything to do with how secure we are in who we are. So I'm gonna read out the actual definition of confidence for you. This is just Webster's, actually not Webster's, sorry guys. It's Oxford Dictionary definition. Thank you, Google. Confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, firm trust, okay? It is the state or feeling certain about the truth of something, or a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. So as you can see, a lot of this definition is based in trust. I am secure, I know who I am, like a deep knowing and an underlying secure foundation of trusting your abilities or trusting in yourself. Now, you can be incredibly outgoing and have a lot of output energy and not be super secure in who you are. I'm an example of that. I was growing up, I was a theater kid. I came out of the womb jazz hands first. I loved all things spotlight, all that stuff. But was I confident? Was I confident? Was that the embodiment of confidence? No, I was not. Oh, no, I was not. And I was incredibly insecure because I had been taught for so long that I was too much. I would have a lot of output. I would be outgoing. I'd be fun to hang out with. But the minute someone said something that was in any way critical of me, I would shut down. I would fall apart. Oftentimes we see this too, where people think that because people aren't the loudest voice in the room, that they're insecure, or think that people who are quote unquote shy, this is where we're getting to shy, and how shy is a social construct, are not confident, and that they need to be more confident. And realistically, our whole society is just telling us that who we are is wrong and bad, and that we need to be the opposite of who we are. I don't buy that at all. I think everyone has a very specific skill set and a very specific personality and quality to them that is meant to be their way of existing in the world. And that is actually an asset. It is not something that needs to be fixed. It is not something that is broken, that needs to be rewired so that they can be quote unquote socially acceptable. That's not what this space of the internet is about. It's about owning the F out of who you are, online and offline. When I talk about shyness, I have a very specific perspective of shy, which is that shy is a social construct. It's something that society has created and built around behavior. It's like, oh, you are acting shy, therefore you are shy. It's an identity that we kind of put onto people. I oftentimes see this when I teach kids is I know what kids are told that they're shy because they come to me and they either tell me that they're shy, or when I say, hey, do you have anything to add? They say, no, I'm shy. I'm like, okay, well, 2 days with me, or seeing them around their best friends, or seeing them in a space where they feel safe and secure to be who they are wild. They're the loudest people in the room, or they are like the most profound, or they have such a unique perspective of the world because they're not shy. They are observational. They are watching and they are learning and they are absorbing, and they will speak when they desire to speak or when they feel safe to speak. And they're in an environment where they feel safe to speak up for themselves or share their ideas. They might not always have something to say. They might be processing and observing and figuring out what they want to say first and then saying it. And they could be incredibly confident and secure in who they are to speak or show up when they desire to show up or express in the way that they desire to express. And people, and by people I mean adults, just slap an identity and say, you are shy. That's who you are. That's what you are. And then if you're telling someone who they are constantly, they start to believe it. So when we look at confidence, I look at it this way. I don't see confidence anymore. I used to, but I don't necessarily see confidence as this thing that you turn on and you're, oh, I'm confident, or I'm feeling confident today, or I've got a Beetlejuice blazer on, so I'm confident today, right? It is a muscle that we flex every day because what we learned, even from the definition, is it is the certainty about the truth of something. And for me, it's the certainty about the truth of who I am. Think about your actual physical body, okay? So if I were to want to strengthen a muscle, I would have to hold weight and move through the world with that weight, whether that's like lifting it, whatever, I don't know. What else do you do at the gym? You lift things, you pick them up, you put them down. The weight that you're holding, so think of like a dumbbell, the actual weight that you hold is built up with your privilege. I have a lot of privilege, okay? I have a lot of privilege. You may not have the same privileges as me, okay? So your privilege, your actual direct environment, so the environment that you steep in the majority of the time, your lived experience, the type of life that you've had. Maybe you've been privileged in a lot of ways, but maybe you haven't been privileged in other ways, or maybe you don't hold a lot of privilege in society, but maybe you do have some privilege in some areas, right? Even within your own culture, you know? So all that stuff, lived experience, trauma, and societal and systemic factors that might come into play that affect your confidence. So that's a lot of different variables. So if we just saw confidence as a light switch, like, oh, you hit this certain body type, you do this, you're confident now. It's like a fleeting moment that doesn't actually hold space for the rest of our humanity. And when I say confidence is a muscle that we flex every day, the amount of weight that you hold, so that's the amount of weight that you hold just simply existing. And then every single day you flex it, right? But if I were to not take into account the weight that you're already holding, and then I tell you that you have to get out of your comfort zone and you have to get out of your comfort zone in the complete opposite way of how you live your life right now, go. And you don't take into account the actual weight that you hold. Imagine you're at the gym and you try to pick up way more weight than you are prepared or trained to hold. I've torn my confidence muscle. And what do you have to do? You have to repair it. And that's why the loudest voice in the room, the most outgoing person, is not always the most confident. And then you also have people who might Dragon Ball Z out their energy, is what I like to call it, and try to push and put so much output to appear and seem confident, because they don't actually have a foundation to stand on. And this is something that is really nuanced. And when I say nuanced, like I said, it's like grayscale. It's that in between, like those variables that make up our humanity that is not just like a yes or no answer. It's not a this or that answer. It's very layered for each of us. So this is just a taste of what it means to be outgoing versus confident, or shy versus confident, or like what confidence means factoring into those identities, like introverted, extroverted, all those things. There's so many layers. Like you could be wildly confident and introverted. You can be wildly confident and extroverted. It's very different and unique to each of our experience. So I am actually hosting a workshop on this on April 13th. So if you're watching this in the future, it might be done by now, but I will put the replay in my VIP container in my membership. So I'll put the links for that below. But if you are watching this now, when this goes out and you want to come join me, it is only $25. So come hang out. We're going to talk about confidence as a muscle, like really deeply. We're going to talk about sustainable confidence, because when I talk about sustainable confidence, I mean a muscle that you build over time, every single day, flex by flex, micro moment by micro moment, that actually builds up to a foundation and understanding of who you are, your core values, your beliefs, and being able to actually withstand the weight, because you know what weight you actually hold. You know what you're working with, and you know what you can take on, and you know what that looks like to prepare. So we're going to talk about all that. I'll put the link below for you guys. I loved hanging out with you. I hope you loved hanging out with me too. Go check out my other playlists if you want a little bit more of a conversation around this stuff. And I hope to see you at the workshop. So kick ass, take names, change the world. You're freaking fabulous. Stop being so secretive about it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.